I've watched some wrestling, yeah, but I think I'm a bit more like I like to punch, so I'm kind of like I don't think I do very well.
Well, there's quite a few former MMA fighters that done like Ronda Rousey,
Yeah,
Valerie Loretta. Can't forget what's the name? Shannon. What's the name? I got it back of my neck. She's a fight UFC too for a minute, but Shannon Baszler.
hmm
But and also there's been other people come from bare knuckle like Mike Perry,
yeah,
Paige Van Zant. Quite a few have jumped on with the bare knuckle because it's really, and also interviewed some ladies from other organizations like the BYB. I've interviewed
yeah,
Jamie, Driver,
yeah.
Monica Medea. I asked her, would they ever think about crossing over between the two divisions? But she said no because I think the bosses of BYB and the bosses of BKFC just don't really get along.
No, no. I think you kind of have to stick to where you are, kind of. No mixing.
Yeah, but if you could fight somebody, because there's quite a few ladies in the list. You fought Britain. Who
hmm
would you want to fight next for
Well, I
PTSD?
mean, I mean, I definitely want a rematch with Brit because um, I feel like I didn't get a fair shot because I had one fight and then 4 weeks later I had to fight her. Now, if she's the number one, I should get a fair chance to have a fight camp so I can be ready for her and be actually go into the fight undamaged. So I do believe that I should get a rematch with Britt. But I always wanted to fight Taylor Starling, but unfortunately that keeps getting avoided. Um, because obviously they want to protect certain people, so I don't get put with them. Um, but yeah, they're the two that I'm after at the moment. Um, but I'm always up to fight anyone, and hopefully someone new comes on the list that maybe um, is a good tough fight, and then I get to do that.
I think there's someone else. I think there's a Crystal Pittman. They call her Rugged Beauty. She's also, I think she
Yeah,
fights in that same weight class as you, straw weight.
no, she's a heavier weight than me. She
Oh,
fights
she's
at one
so
three five.
oh, so she. Oh, I thought she was. One time I thought she was. I guess she was one. There was 125. Now because they expanded one straw weight. They do have 145. I interviewed
Yeah,
you know Jessica Borgia. She
okay,
fights in that.
yeah,
Yeah, in that.
yeah,
And like I said, maybe you might get some new fighters.
yeah.
Like I said,
I mean,
it's real. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm saying Crystal is like she's 135, and she's lovely by the way. Like, I've met her a few times, and she's probably one of my most favorite fighters that I've met. She is just like diamond. But yeah, I mean, there's a few options that I fought at the two weights, 125 and 115. There's a few fighters that of interest of me, but have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's the thing about fighting. You have to contracts, talking to the
Yeah.
managers, and sometimes
hmm
when I would grow up, boxing used to be you fought for legacy, you fought for glory. Like you look at guys
Yeah.
like Ali and Frazier, Gotti and Ward, Roberto and Leonard. Now most fighters just fight for okay, what money I can get. It's just
Yeah.
that's why I don't really follow boxing much like I used to. Yeah, I do
hmm
follow out MMA. One of my favorite fighters is Valentina Shevchenko. She won her fight again, got a title back. I'm a big fan of hers. Just
Yeah.
saw Julianne Peña just won her title back from Raquel Pennington. I don't call her Rocky because she's like Rocky. If I'm a big Rocky fan. I grew up watching the Balboa movies.
Yeah.
I know Rocky Balboa said, "Cut me, big. Oh, yo, Adrian." I love the Rocky movies. And then you have named Rocky, and he sits in the corner and
Yeah.
says, "I want to be done. You want to quit? Nah, nah. I can't call you Rocky anymore. That's not the
Yeah.
name you deserve to be called."
hmm
We have here I think we have a friend of yours. This is Jill P. And she says, best fight ever. Shout out to Jill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, she says, fearless. I mean, thank you, Jill. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Also, this is from my man KL. He says, uh, I noticed you got the Street Fighter video game in the background. Does that inspires you at times? Oh yeah, yeah. I used to love playing that one with the kids. I used to
Yeah.
play the home games, of course, the VR arcades. You know, you play it, or the kids play it, or you?
Well, I'm into my video games. I'm like crazy into them, and so are my boys. So I'm lucky because they want it, and then I play it.
What's
So,
your if you we play Street Fighter? What's your favorite character to play?
so I like to be dowsing,
Or
probably
you?
because cause I'm not very good at the moves, so I just use the long arms to just do that.
When I was a kid, it was usually Blanca, or
Yeah.
I'll play the sumo guy because I'm a big dude. We like
Yeah.
yeah, I one of my favorites was also Mortal Kombat. That
Okay.
is a
Yeah. That was my
classic. I
yeah.
mean, I used to play with Sonya Blade. We used to have tournaments. I was killing my brothers and my nephews with Sonya Blade. So if you killing that bitch. So so yeah. So anyway, like also my man Kia like asked says, you know, shout out to KLA. See, wait a minute, it's good. My kid actually trying to funny sometimes. Uh, what is your training like? So what's training like? What's the day to day for you as you train and work out?
Well, I do a lot of weights, like quite a lot of weights, and I do a lot of circuit weights as well for my cardio, and then I just do my pads and sparring and some track running. But I do train quite hard, like and because my husband does most of my training, it's kind of all here, so like I never get a break. So like it's kind of like if he wants to wake me up at 6 in the morning and train, or he wants me to train at midnight, I'm there. So I'm always training.
Well, that's good because I know this is a good or bad thing. You got to think about it. That your
Mhm.
husband's your trainer. You say
Yeah,
good night, baby. You say good morning. It's only been like four hours since we went to sleep together, and and it's tough as a fighter because
mhm.
your training is difficult. I still got to do a lot of content about them. Your training, you train for endurance because you have to
Yeah,
fight. Like I think it's like 2 minute rounds for your women compared to the
yeah.
guys. You feel like if like that fight with that Smith girl, you feel like if you had that extra minute would that made a difference for you?
On the third round when I had her down on the ropes, if I'd have just had 30 seconds extra, they'd have called the fight and I would have won in the third round. So yeah, sometimes that extra bit of time would just allow for a finish. Um, and yeah, I'm probably on my first fight. I had a few moments like that where there was a lot of holding from my opponent, and I think if she had, because she was wasting a lot of time by holding me, so I think with the extra time, I'd have probably got it over with a lot quicker. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not sure with Brit because the Brit fight went all over the place, but um, we'll never know.
Yeah, because it's a totally different style from bare knuckle from boxing. Even
Yeah,
it has some aspects of maybe a little bit of MMA. Sometimes you have a lot of holding. Boxing is some holding, and then the style is so much different because you know what, you're not wearing gloves. You just got
yeah,
tape. And I
mhm,
know your hands. I know you feel like you want to put your hands in some, deep. The coldest thing you find. I mean, that
yeah.
experience, like that first time when you were fighting and you came home and your hands were like you feel like you already have arthritis. What's that feeling like for you as a fighter?
I mean, I actually coped. My hands coped really well. I mean, I always find that they actually hurt more in gloves because even though they swell up and everything, I think the bones hurt more when I'm in gloves because you've got a looser fist, so there's not as much protection. When you hold your fist really tight, it's very solid. So although it swells and bruises, it it moves, all the bones move less, so it just I find it's more comfortable to hit with. Um, but it just looks worse after.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's different adjustments when you're fighting
Yeah.
from bare knuckle to boxing. You still looking
Yeah.
forward to maybe getting to another fight in boxing, or
Yeah, I
just
mean,
after that?
I'm open for it. I'm waiting to see if someone will take it up with me. But the problem is because I'm coming from bare knuckle, even though there might be like more experience in boxing, I think some of them are a bit like it's a bit of a risk because we're very tough in bare knuckle. So I think sometimes they don't want to take that risk. I think that's what happened with why my last opponent pulled out was because she didn't want to risk it and be kind of like shown up. Um, so it's a tough to get an opponent in boxing, to be honest.
Well, like saying is that's the problem what I said again about boxing. There's
Mhm.
the fighters now don't have that same mentality just to fight the fight. I understand you want to make a living,
Yeah,
you want to have make a make your money, but the thing is, this is the fight game.
yeah,
You have to go in there and prove that you're a fighter. Do your best, work
yeah,
hard. I mean, not everybody is meant to be a fighter, so that's a good thing. Just go ahead and do something else. But if you
yeah,
have that fighter mentality, go in,
hmm,
take an opponent. Sometimes take a
yeah,
loss. You learn from your losses. Um,
yeah.
this is from my man KL. He says she's dropping some killer bees on that chick. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's killing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like I said, do you have sponsorship? Because just thinking sponsorship does help for your fighters. Any sponsors?
At the moment, no. I mean, I think because bare knuckle is quite new, um, it's really hard to get companies to kind of join up, and then it's harder for me because I'm in the UK, and so it's even harder here. And then because I'm in the UK, but I fight in the US, so it's like it's hard to get a UK company to sponsor me to then fight in the US. So it's really hard. It's been really hard to like kind of gain sponsors. Um, so I'm just like, just when it happens, it happens. Like, I mean, I'm in it to fight. Like, just as you said, this is what I'm doing. A lot of people are in it for money, and yeah, that would be nice. But like, I'm in it because I like to do this, and because it is new, and especially from the UK, I've been able to be like the first the one to do it in the UK, the first British girl to go to America and fight for BKFC, the first one to headline. So I feel like I'm kind of making my own legacy and kind of trailblazing, as they say. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just and then anything else that comes from it will be a bonus.
Mhm. I think you being the first of a woman coming from the UK to fight here and also
Hmm.
have success there, I think someone will be interested, especially you start being a mom with three kids, married.
Yeah,
You know, that's a good example where if I was someone like this, I say, Miss Shaw, we like your story. We're passionate about you. You
yeah,
come in here, you've only been fighting for a couple of years. You have a great look to you. You have your mannerisms. We respect you. We like that mentality you have. That I
hmm,
make me think about Mike Tyson. Like I just want to fight. I just want to do it. I just want to bust somebody else. I remember I was watching an interview with Mike. No, he was talking about how we would fight. He said like I get hard when I get fight. He said, say no, I can come and get hard because he get excited about it. I hope he didn't feel by saying
yeah,
that, but yeah, but this thing is if you enjoy what you do and you're
hmm,
excited about it, but it also should be a bonus for you as a competitor.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. So.
yeah, we think if BKFC may want to come over and because the UK is probably a popular place to fight. I know other companies have gone overseas. You think they ever want to come over and try to maybe do a fight event, maybe something like in uh, Birmingham and Yorkshire or London?
Well,
That's the biggest place.
I mean, I did my first one in Newcastle in the UK. So
Hmm.
that, so but ever since then, I've been fighting in the US. So and it's been very difficult in the UK because there aren't really any other girls doing it. It's been very slow, and so that's why I ended up in America and fighting the girls there. And then really, they're the girls that I'm looking at fighting at the moment because um, they're the ones I want to test myself against. Maybe when the UK or somewhere else, I mean, they're going all over Europe as well. When there's some more girls in some of those locations, then maybe I'll have other places I can go.
Well, I think some women are kind of intimidated by this because it's a different form of fighting. It's only been around for maybe just a little over 10 years,
Hmm.
professionally level. And then you look at organizations like UFC and PFL, and you also look at boxing. Right now I think coming up we have one of the biggest fights coming up. That's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Mike
Mike
Tyson,
Tyson,
yeah.
yeah, he gonna kill that boy. I don't be saying Mike
I'm,
might be 60, but you don't forget that. I mean, no,
no.
I mean he fought mostly ex MMA fighters, and one person he
Hmm.
lost to was Tyson Fury's brother, who he has boxing background.
Yeah.
But I think if some women have the same courage like you have and do what you do, and say, you know what, let me take a chance in this. I mean, it's getting popular, getting a lot
Hmm.
more attention. I mean, just try it. I mean, there's some, like I said, you're attractive lady. Other lady attractive. You're not gonna you're gonna look like you like somebody old age box, like you got the one eye and your nose going the other way. No, yeah, but it's about how you take care of yourself in the ring, how you move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any fighter that you admired when you were coming up as a kid, or somebody you saw that you really inspired you as a fighter?
You mean all over when I was a kid? Well,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was always someone that I just thought was like, you can't really get better. I mean, like, he's just like a killer. Like when he was fighting, he was like, someone's gonna die, and that I just like, and then I always just liked him. I just liked his way that he was. He was just didn't give a shit about anything, and he wasn't he wasn't saying the right things and trying to make everyone happy. He would just say what he thought. So he'd say what he wanted to you, and so he didn't take any
Yeah.
shit from anyone.
I remember that fight before he fought Lennox Lewis. It says like he's gonna eat his heart, eat his kids. All police to Allah. So that's just, I mean, Mike. He was one of my favorites. I grew up with like guys with
Yeah.
Ali when he was coming out, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Hmm.
I was a Floyd fan. Roy Jones Jr. Those guys. I mean, and I just like I said, I used to be a big boxing fan as a kid, but I kind of fall off a little bit. A lot of those guys are gone. And the sport's still evolving because, like I said, that extra minute, especially in the pro level of women's boxing, the extra minute can make a difference. I've seen fights, especially in women's boxing, where all that woman used that 1 minute, and she could have got a fight by TKO or referee
Yeah.
stoppage. And because I think society's not comfortable in combat sports and fight, anything, like they can't use that excuse that, oh, it's just 3 minutes, but there's women in MMA that fight 5 minutes. They might
Yeah.
fight 3 or 5 minute rounds. They fight in 5 minutes. And women, y'all have better natural stamina than men. And that's the truth. If people need to
Yeah.
think
I
about
agree.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there should be like a difference in time. I think we should all be on one level as long as everyone agrees. Like you could have a choice, but I think it should be an option because most women would probably want that extra time.
Yeah,
Um,
because that would have been to maybe winning a fight by decision or winning by a knockout. Some
yeah.
fights. It was like I remember I was watching the fight with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. I think Amanda could have won if she had that extra minute because Katie doesn't have that great of stamina.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I've seen other fights where all it needs is just that one opportunity. Just 3 or 4 feet, like maybe just 30 or 40 more seconds.
Yeah.
It just would have been gone a different way. So but folks, we're not gonna hold them much too long because it's evening time in the UK. It's about to be 10 o'clock. I know she has to get a rest. She has to get up and train. Gotta get the kids ready. Gotta
Yeah.
get the husband ready. You
Hmm.
know. And your family, your rest of your family, did they support you, or like your mom, your dad, any other family members?
Yeah. So, well, it's just really my husband's family that I'm around, and they're very supportive. They've always been really supportive, and they always watch my fights, and they've always give advice, and they get really excited every time I have one coming up. So everyone's been just really amazing about it all, and I've been like really lucky.
That's good. That's good that you have that
Hmm.
support. Sometimes some people don't